Kelly Ripa's demeanor prompted the talk show host to publicly insult anyone who might feel uneasy, going as far as to declare, "I don't care if you're offended," the speaker told the audience. Recently, the host of Live with Kelly and Mark and her husband, Mark Consuelos, made fun of how little she changes her bra on the show. On August 13th, they introduced this issue during their daytime program. The fact that E's underwear has been a topic for a long time may come as a surprise to you. The TV host brags about how long she's been in the industry and made a joke about how her smaller bust makes her feel like she doesn't need to ask many questions. Wearing one, in her opinion, is mostly for the purpose of anchoring her microphone. "I don't wear it to support anything else because there isn't anything else there," she joked, referring to her shirt. Kelly was quick to silence anyone who expressed discomfort with the topic. "I don't care if you feel offended," she told the audience. "Zip it." Mark, who is Kelly's husband and the father of Michael aged 28, Lola aged 24, and Walken aged 22, chimed in. "I used to love the ones that had the front snaps and would say, 'Mark, I was so amazed.'" Kelly reflected on the subsequent discussion, one of many NSFW exchanges between the two, that ensued after that comment. She remarked, "This man is really experienced. I was impressed. You learn to deal with that kind of stuff fast if you're from Tampa," Mark said. He continued by saying that it took all of a second to undo the back clasps. They continued talking about lingerie, and Kelly revealed that she had probably put a lot of money into the worldwide underwear market, which she estimated to be worth more than $90 billion each year. "This notion crosses my mind whenever I am in the market for a new bra." She claims that she buys them nevertheless because she thinks one of them might make a difference in her life, even if she never puts them to use. She then allows them to stay in their original packaging. Kelly has never been bashful about discussing her body care routine, and she recently continued that tradition by discussing her decision not to get breast augmentation. As she put it in a July podcast interview, "Not skinny, but not fat. She had no breasts. We are both aware that I am flaccid." She went on to say that this is well known. "I am ashamed to admit that I have been to more breast enhancement consultations than I care to acknowledge. Whenever I hear about a new goob man, I immediately schedule a meeting with him." Kelly made a joke about how she always decided against getting implants because she thinks her phone's algorithm is always listening to her and showing her all the horror stories about them. Keep reading to hear Mark and Kelly's more candid admissions. While appearing on an episode of Live with Kelly in February 2017, Mark Consuelos, Kelly Ripa's husband, had a disastrous pillow talk, almost 6 years prior to his eventual assumption of the position. During their private moments at home as a married couple, she took this chance to air her grievances. "That he treats her badly is something she disliked," she said. She continued, "It appears strange to me when he's annoyed with me." Soon after that, she made an additional statement. "Quite short, he becomes." Even though Kelly later said it was all in jest, her husband of over 20 years felt compelled to defend himself after seeing her statement had gone viral. A few days after that, he was on the radio to respond to the statement. "I simply wanted to make it clear that being unconscious does not give somebody the right to be rude after something. His spouse slept," she said rhythmically. "Perhaps I was implying that I was being purposefully harsh, similar to a deep sleep. I meant completely disinterested." Michael, Lola, and Walken Consuelos should exercise extreme caution even when scrolling harmlessly through social media. "Daddy, I love it when you take charge," Kelly said in the 2019 Riverdale episode when Mark stated he would be taking over the show's Instagram feed. That is just one of the several reasons why the longtime host of the morning show is convinced her children have attempted to remove any reference of them from their social media accounts. "A station that mentions our names has definitely been restricted," Kelly said. News in March 2023. "Just as they do on social media, they block us in every manner they can. Would you say it's yours?" Maybe in 2020, when Kelly shared some vintage Halloween photos, including one with Mark and his pal Bruce Bozzi all decked out in their finest costumes. The snugness of her husband's pants was the subject of several of his criticisms. "I believe the shadow is clearly giving the impression that it's growing," he said, eliciting a response from his wife. Even after the Braggot event and the subsequent social media blackouts, the Consuelos home continued to laugh. Fans began to wonder how much of the couple's on-air chemistry is staged and how much is a terrifyingly real look into their minds as the year progressed. And the couple's unfiltered dynamic only got worse. Mark proposed a proposal in October 2025 that caused Kelly and the studio audience to gasp in audible shock, and things turned around for the macabre. Mark casually implied that Kelly's inner circle of girlfriends holds feelings for more than just him during a piece on matching singles with pals. They are conspiring to have his wife killed. Are they really hoping I die so they can marry you? Kelly said, her voice quivering with shock. Remember Mark, the realist? Strengthen your belief in the death wish theory, suggesting that her pals are employing a strategic approach. You aren't my top priority, in my opinion. In response, Kelly reminded him that his best friends are too familiar with his behaviors for them to ever be interested in being his real spouse. The snoring is understood by them. They are aware of how to use the restroom. I can assure you that no one is vying for that position. The holiday season, with its own special brand of mayhem, was far more chaotic than this smiley face of marital comedy. Their now adult children's Christmas present list came up as Thanksgiving 2025 drew near. When 22, Michael, 28, and Lola, 24, ignited a heated argument. Mark, fully immersed in his character as the family's bad cop, announced on live that wrapping presents was a thing of the past. This generation's youth has evaporated. I'm not getting them anything, he declared with a serious expression on his face. His words clashed with Kelly's maternal instincts, and she looked obviously distressed. The sluggish, unenthusiastic nod that Kelly gave when Mark proposed sending a check and wishing them a Merry Christmas said it all. Mark mumbled, "That sounds bad," as he swiftly recoiled, fearing he sounded like the Grinch's nasty relative. Wow, that's terrible. Unfortunately, it was too late. It was a viral sensation, connecting with every weary parent of young adults who is sick of spending money on considerate presents for those who never respond to their texts. When it comes to their kids, the void that Kelly and Mark had so vehemently lamented appears to be filling up again. The Consuelos children are always there for them, even though they make fun of the idea of changing the locks all the time. Bravo behind-the-scenes star Michael Consuelos has been all the rage recently. As a proud housewife and production assistant for the Real Housewives series, Kelly joked that her son is at last carrying out the Lord's job, calling it a full circle moment. Earlier this year, Lola returned to her hometown after a decampment to London. She brought a habit that Kelly finds especially grating with her: intruding unannounced into the master's suite. This is becoming a pattern, Kelly bemoaned. In our own home, we are extremely cautious because we are afraid of hurting our little girl. However, the couple's foray into Italian football has been the greatest challenge of their marriage. Their ownership of Camp Abobasso FC was revealed in their 2025 ESPN documentary series Running with the Wolves. The once idyllic notion of owning a soccer team in the picturesque Italian countryside soon turned into a stressful nightmare filled with relegation battles, irate supporters, and the hiring and firing of coaches. The performance showed a new side of Mark, the anxious businessman. As he walked the sidelines, yelling in a combination of broken Italian and English, fans observed the normally composed actor. Kelly, who had no idea how much money could be lost by simply having people kick a ball, played the role of voice of reason and, every once in a while, panic queen. Not only was the sports drama compelling, but the show also catered to viewers' need to see two famously affluent Americans come to terms with the fact that they had taken on too much propriety. The couple's outspoken display of retirement may be a response to the pressures of soccer ownership. As 2025 came to a close, Kelly and Mark were very coy about their plans to leave the hectic city of New York for the tranquility of Palm Springs. Kelly said to People magazine after filming live from California for a week that they have planned out every detail of their retirement. "We spend our days hiking, he plays golf, and I am teaching myself bridge," dreary was her description. Some of her relatives have even begun to congratulate her on the relocation too soon, which she brought up. "My uncle called to express his disbelief that we are actually relocating to California." Laughter escaped her lips. "Our stay will be 4 days. I had to inform him. Just relax, everyone." Even Oprah Winfrey herself chimed in during an off-camera interview on Kelly's Let's Talk podcast, telling the host that she shouldn't jump ship just yet. Oprah is correct. Their schedule proves it. The power couple has no plans to retire and is actually quite busy. The announcement that Kelly and Mark will be the 2025 International Emmy Awards hosts came in November 2025, a few days before Thanksgiving, in New York City. This employment is more than simply a day on the couch. It solidifies their position as ambassadors for entertainment all over the world. They were able to flaunt their synchronized outfits and demonstrate that they can't hold their heads up for more than 5 minutes on this additional platform. Before everything else, there was Halloween. No one should have been surprised that the pair wouldn't skimp on their 2025 spooktacular. Astonishing 74 outfit changes were a part of the enormous production. The two actors played a wide variety of roles in popular culture, from the frightening Severance staff to the Fantastic Four Mark as a stretched-out Reed Richards and Kelly as the Invisible Woman. They even appealed to a subculture of internet users by dressed as Labu dolls, which bewildered half the crowd but delighted Gen Z. Most notably, Mark wore a sequined jumpsuit and a mustache, which looked uncannily natural on him, as part of their rendition of the popular Benson Boone style. Kelly admitted to those around her backstage, "I never have any idea who we're dressed as.